welcome to my channel once again. My name is Gloria. If you're new here, you're absolutely welcome to RIA'S. In RIA'S, we talk about family, we talk about motherhood, courtesy, common sense. Some of those common sense that is almost becoming very difficult to find or becoming rare. So we talk about those in this channel. We link everything to faith. If it's something that you like and probably would enjoy, why not join the trend? For all my returning viewers, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Let's just jump into our topic for today. Because I live in the United Kingdom, I live specifically in Cambridge, the city of Cambridge, right? So my experience is going to be tailored around this country. To start off, the first thing that actually surprised me the most when I got pregnant here with my son, and most likely maybe with my daughter, but with my daughter I wasn't so bad. I did my test at home. I used the normal pregnancy test kit, the test strip, okay? I went to the GP, the general practitioner, or the little hospitals that are close by where you go for consultancy with the doctors and all of that, nurses just around your locality. I went there and I told them, I am pregnant. I didn't say I think I'm pregnant though. I said I'm pregnant. I was thinking they would say, okay, congratulations, we're going to just check you out or do a blood test or a urine sample here, to get a concrete result. They just told me, congratulations, all right, are you on folic acid? Are you on this? I'm like, excuse me? Are you not going to confirm? What if I'm a novice and I don't know what pregnancy is? At least to the best of my knowledge, they won't do any blood test to confirm to you again after your assurance that you're pregnant. I don't know if it's something, but to me it was a thing at that moment. After that, they're going to recommend folic acid, which is the usual. While I was pregnant with my son, my iron level was short, so they actually recommended iron tablets for me as well. So I was on a daily basis on iron tablet and folic acid. I even remembered them telling me to use juice when taking the iron tablets because they needed it to work really fast. I was really low on iron, and then they were recommending eating spinach and other vegetables and lots of good food. All right, now what are some of the expectations, those things that may likely happen if you're pregnant in the United Kingdom? First thing is, just have it at the back of your mind, right, that you're only entitled if everything goes well, if you're very low risk, like for my son Zoe and my daughter Petra, by the grace of God I was completely low risk. You're only going to be entitled to 2 scans, okay? With my son, yes, I was very much low risk, but at the beginning of my first pregnancy I had this pain, intense pain, that they actually thought it was an ectopic pregnancy. I've talked about this in the previous video. I'm going to link that up here. So I went to the hospital and they did a scan. That was the first time they did a scan for me. It was just because I was kind of in pain, okay? They needed to check the baby was growing fine and in the right place. So yes, I was offered a scan. And I found out I was 7 weeks plus, almost 8 weeks. If you're pregnant in the UK, you don't have the luxury of going for scan every time you want to, except you're working with a private hospital. I've had discussions with my friends, in-laws and relatives that have been pregnant in Nigeria, and all they say is, I went to check the sex of my baby 6 times. I'm like, is it free? She was like, free when? No, you pay for it. I'm like, what? Are you went 6 times? What are you trying to check? If the baby has changed from boy to girl or from girl to boy, what? It was really funny, but here you can actually have multiple scans done, but you only do it in the private hospital. The NHS, which is the government hospital here, will only offer you 2 scans as long as everything is fine. So after that initial scan, the next scan you will have will be between 12 and 13 weeks. That is around your 3 months pregnancy. And in that scan, they call it the dating scan. That scan is where they're going to tell you when your due date is. And also prior to that, while you are having your midwife's appointment, at home, like, just in your locality where you live, your midwife is going to ask you, are you open to get the Down syndrome test? Because there's a way they check Down syndrome Edwards syndrome, and I think it's Pator syndrome. I'll put the word up there. It's P-A-T-A-U. Don't know how it's pronounced. They would give you those tests, and really they are all free. That's one of the benefits of the health system in the United Kingdom. It is free, except in the private sector. I'm not really sure about the private sector. Okay, so they would give you the option if you want to have this test done. Now, if you consent to them, to having this test, you have to go with a paper that you've signed, that yes, I agree to this, and you give it to the sonographer, right? Or to the receptionist when you get there, and all your records are checked, and then you go in for your scan. Okay, so it's actually very direct and easy, and then those things are checked, and also one thing that you would not like is you may most likely be told to keep a full bladder until you go for your scan. The reason for it is because having a full bladder tends to make the ultrasound pictures or images clearer, and for them to navigate easily or more easier. And usually the result comes out within a week or maybe less than a week. They'll post it to your house. For me, my 2 kids, they are usually less than 1 in 10,000. The chances of having Down syndrome, Edwards syndromes. Okay. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, glory be to God for that. Other things that are checked within your dating scan are how far gone you are. I remember I thought I was 12 weeks when I went for my own test then, but I was told I was 13 weeks going to 14 weeks. I was like, what? I was so excited. Just imagine they're increasing your dates for you. So I thought I was like a week plus behind, but then they told me, no, you are ahead, madam. And I was like, yes. So they'll check your dates, how far gone you are, your real pregnancy stage, and then they will date it for you when you're likely to have to put to bed. They'll give you a date, although it's still a chance, it's 50-50. Maybe it will come before, during, or after. Okay, another thing they check is if your baby is growing in the right place or is developing very well. If you're having more than 1 babies, maybe twins or whatsoever. I remember I just wanted twins. With my son, yes, every first time mom always wanted twin. But with my daughter, I was like, this nausea I'm having is quite intense. Maybe there may be 2 babies in there. And the way I was hungry, I was eating. I was like, it can't be 1. I was shocked, and giving a bitter truth that, madam, 1 baby. And remember, in all these appointments, you're going to get pictures if you request, and it's free as well. The next time is 18 to 21 weeks pregnant, which is like your 5 months pregnancy, to know the sex of your baby, which is the fun part. I remember with my son, I just thought, I was so sure that I was having a girl, and with my daughter, I was so sure I was having a boy. Like, what a contrast. Here they absolutely respect your privacy and your desires and your choices. So if you want to know, they will let you know about what sex you're having or not. If you don't want to, they'll leave it for the special day where you surprise yourself. In this same scan, the next thing that they do is they check every piece and every part of your baby's body. The circulatory system, the spinal cord, the fingernails, the fingers, if everything is complete, the toes, if everything is complete. Like, they literally check everything. You'll be seeing it as well. They'll be explaining everything to you. It is completely free. And at the end of the day, if you want pictures, why not? Don't forget, you may likely be told to go with a full bladder as well. I remember just not being happy when I was told you have to go with a full bladder again, because I hated it. I needed to empty myself. It can be really uncomfortable, when they are poking you and you're pregnant. You can't really hold anything in for too long. Okay, you're going to be having contact with your midwife, your local midwife team. The next appointment that will take you to the main hospital is when you're going for your GTT, which is the oral glucose tolerance test, which can also be a test that is done to detect if there is any atom or iota of gestational diabetes. Okay, what did I do there? I think with my son, I did it at 24 weeks, and my daughter, I did it, I think, 27 weeks. It is usually done between 6 and 7 months. They do it because they feel that gestational diabetes tend to play out more in the 3rd trimester. Okay, either between the middle and the end of the 3rd trimester. So they do that, and that is the next time visiting the hospital. What did they do? I'm going to do a video about it, detailing everything that is done. It's quite intense. I'm not going to do that in this video, but what you would be told to do is avoid eating food. You go in very early in the morning and you get your blood test. I think it's between 2 hours. But if you go on time, praise God. If you don't, it may take a little longer. Okay, so you go without food, they'll give you like a juice. If you've had LiQWYD boost, it's something related to that, just a sugary drink, not too sweet, Just drink it for a specific time and then go in for your blood to be taken again. It's just a process back and forth. You get your result within few days. If there is something wrong, they detected the diabetes in your system and all of that, which is called gestational diabetes, which come only during pregnancy. Not to worry, obviously these are experts, they're going to help you. Okay, continue to be in touch with your midwives. 16 weeks, 20 weeks, 24 weeks, some 28 weeks. Usually like almost every month you tend to see your midwife. In this country, if it's your first pregnancy, you tend to see the midwives more, but if it's a second, I think you may miss 1 or 2 appointments. Varies anyway, so you just, after your main appointment, you tend to focus on your local midwives. So you work with them. They always check your blood pressure, and all of this is absolutely free. That is one of the beauty, like I said earlier, of being in the United Kingdom and just paying your health surcharge. Okay, that it all covers for it, so you don't have to pay anything else. Okay, so being pregnant in the UK is honestly beautiful, I must say, compared to what I've also heard from different countries. Something I forgot to add is that you get an exemption card with which you have free dental checks. This lasts until your baby turns 1 year old. Isn't that amazing? Yes, you also get free prescriptions and all of that. Like I said, it lasts until your baby turns 1 year, so the earlier you get it, the better. Next thing is you will be told to write a birth plan. Okay, writing your birth plan is pretty easy. It's just something you want to see in your delivery. All deliveries are different, but why not hope and expect for the best? It's just something that makes life easier for you. I remember with my son, I told them I didn't want an epidural, and epidural was indeed far from me. Of course, nobody planned for inducement and all of that, and I was induced, which needed an epidural, but I didn't have it on time or timely because of my birth plan. So yes, here you're going to have a birth plan done, and they don't have to follow you to a T, but they try to give you the best, and obey and respect your wishes unless it is life-threatening. Okay, so the next time you see your midwife, 32 weeks, 36 weeks, 40 weeks, and if baby is not coming after 40 weeks, first time pregnancy, they would give you a sweep. Nonetheless, in between all of these activities and checks and all of that, one thing that is always very open is there's a number you can always call. As of 2021, if you dial that number, should you be feeling any pain whatsoever and all of that, that is like your emergency number to go to. Okay, so these are all open and free for you. Once again, the beauty of being pregnant in the United Kingdom. Your midwife, like I said, will continue to check your blood pressure, asking you questions, and you also having the opportunity to be asked questions. Prior to that, before COVID, I know that they were having booking sessions where you go and see the hospital and the birth center, the delivery units, just everywhere, see everything that you may likely be using when your baby is born or before your baby is born or while you are in labor. But now, I think during COVID, I couldn't do that because obviously COVID, there are restrictions and all of that. I only had my Zoom class with my midwife. I taught, just basically everything to expect, the different types of deliveries, what to expect before baby, after baby, taking care of the baby and all of that. All these things will be made available as well. And I really appreciate my team that I worked with here. They are amazing compared to my first baby. The next thing is, if at 40 weeks your baby has not come, first babies may take their time, they're enjoying the uterus so much, they may overstay their welcome. And what do? You may go for a sweep. They may offer you a vaginal sweep, which is disturbing, the lining of the uterus, just to start alerting the baby to say, hey, get ready for the race of life. Okay, they do that at 40 weeks. I did it twice. They usually offer it to you twice if it doesn't work the first time. For me, it didn't work the first time. It also didn't work the second time. The second one was at 41 weeks. It didn't work, and I had my baby just 2 days to 42 weeks. Yeah, and I was induced. So here they will give you the options of having a vaginal sweep. They don't go straight to surgery as long as baby is fine and everything is going well and you're not in pain or whatsoever, in pains or whatever. Yes, so then offer you the second sweep. If it doesn't work, then you move. The second babies, they allow you to feel like, oh, your body knows what to do when in the right time it will happen. It may take longer, it may come before. Although it's not always the case, but praise God, it was the case for me, and I pray it always becomes the case for me. I had my daughter almost 4 weeks earlier than my son, which I'm really happy about. Who wants to be pregnant forever when you're already ready? As from 37 weeks, the midwife will tell you you're ready to have a baby, and then from 37 weeks you're staying extra 5 weeks or extra 4 weeks. That's touch up, okay? So I was really happy. Yes, I think those are really everything. And when you're having your baby, maybe that will be another video, you know, while in labor, or what to expect. So yes, that has brought me to the end of this video. If you really enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. If it's something that you like, why not subscribe? Subscribe and join the family. If there's something you want us to talk about or whatnot, you know, your points, if you have more better points, you know, other countries that may have better healthcare system, which UK is actually a force to contend with. I want to believe, you know, with what I've heard thus far. Yeah, so please give us a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye-bye.